Burnout is always like workload and the amount of tasks that you do, so you feel restless, tired.
What can I do to prove myself wrong? That I am not this kind of person, I'm not that. I can do much more better than this. We educate other people.
Yes.
That is to
Yeah.
break the stigma. Right?
Yeah, breaking stigma.
Firstly, you try to help them.
Next chapter, next chapter, next chapter.
Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Next Chapter. So today we're going to talk about something very deep, something very important to me, something very important to all the people, because we deal with this all the time. So it's about stress and how we can cope up with this stress. So with me, I have my co-host Pamela.
Hi.
And we have Sir Nathaniel.
Hello.
Hi, sir. Welcome. So, and also we have Ma'am Adeline.
Hello, everyone.
So are you guys excited to be here?
Yes.
Very excited.
Very excited. So yeah, they are excited. I am excited. Are you excited, Pam?
Yes, I'm very excited.
So we are all excited for this. We're going to talk about how we can thrive when we during mental challenges. How we can cope up with those problems. How we can make them better. So can you tell us something about what you're going to talk about?
So we will talk about mental health, mental well-being, it all together, and then the different kind of issues that that is there in mental health illness or mental health issues as well. Okay.
And we can also talk about different ways to cope, no?
Yeah.
And to have self-care.
Okay.
Do you want to add any other more topics that you would like to talk about?
Yeah, because even we go through a lot, no?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yes. Well, for me, I do have stress, but then I think I got the hang of it somehow.
Then
Yeah.
let's talk about stress then.
Yeah, let's talk about stress, like understanding mental well-being, let's say.
Yes. So stress is a normal response, right? We all have stress, and it's quite okay to have stress. So first of all, there are two types of stress, where one which motivates us and pushes us, and the other is where we reach to the peak point.
Okay.
We're out of limit, like something like that. So the other one, like I mentioned, is something that we are able to cope with, handle with, if we're faced by any situation. But the other one is like where we are unable to deal by ourselves. So we look towards the other side, like asking for help, seeking help.
Yeah. So are there any terminologies for these stress? Like, are there any names for these types of stress?
Yes.
Yeah, good
there
stress.
are. We call it the eustress, EUSTRESS.
Okay.
That's the spelling.
Okay.
Eustress and the distress.
Okay. So that's what distress means.
Yes, but just remember it as the good stress and the bad stress.
Okay.
The good stress pushes us, it motivates us to achieve deadlines,
Yeah.
motivates us to work harder, to be perfect. But then there's a threshold for that, up to how much one person can be stressed.
Yeah.
When it depletes our performance, when we don't have motivation anymore due to stress, that becomes a distress.
Okay. So there is a limit.
Yes.
That if it's crossed, it's a distress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So like having burnouts.
Yeah.
Yes, a
that's
lot.
one.
Burnout could be one factor, because from the distress is like chronic.
Okay.
So just think about eustress, it's acute, you can handle it, and then chronic stress is like, it's very chronic, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
And then like you said, burnout could also lead from stress. They're different things. Burnout is always like workload and the amount of tasks that you do, so you feel restless, tired. Those
Yeah.
are one of few of the symptoms that we can see like part of stress.
Okay.
So it leads to burnout.
Okay.
Did you experience distress?
Not distress. I think I have experienced eustress, like you said.
Good.
Yeah, it's something that pushes me to do something. Yeah.
I
What
did
about-
experience distress when I was a kid, but then that wasn't as bad because I used to love writing. But then I stopped. I don't remember the reason why, but I stopped writing, and I went to this workshop once, and they told us to write a script. And as I was writing this script, I thought I was psychotic, because the story was, at first it was just all butterflies and rainbows and whatever, and as it goes on, it went really dark. And I stopped writing because I don't like horror. So I stopped writing. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Yeah. And I stopped the script. And again, I went back to writing a new topic or a new heading. And it went back to the same algorithm, basically.
Yeah,
And
something like that happens to me also. Like I write songs and I try to write something happy, something jolly, but then I ended writing about breakups. Yeah, and
Inner feelings.
heartbreak. Yeah, inner feelings like heartbreak and things like that.
So I guess, like, like she mentioned, she used to write as a kid, right? Writing is one way expressing ourselves. So now maybe even the way, like she found herself she mentioned that it became so dark,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
maybe she didn't realize that she's exploring different kind of emotions at that time. So definitely maybe not now. You can definitely consider it in the future as well,
Yeah.
because journaling is one thing. Like, you write down things and monitor yourself, look at yourself, your emotions. So that could be one way, that can really help to manage our stress as well.
But journaling even takes skills.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't
it
mean
does.
you will just have a pen and a paper and then you just scribble whatever comes in your mind.
Yeah.
Of course, we can do that, right?
Yeah.
But we have to look at it from a therapeutic point of view.
Yeah.
So when we want to have a therapeutic journal, first we acknowledge what we feel, right? We accept what we are feeling, and then we try to understand why we're feeling this way, what is causing this way, right? And then we write these points down. If you want to write in a song, it's fine. If you want to write it as a script or as a story, it's fine. And then what is the next things? What is the next thing that you will do? Right? That is where the intervention comes in. That is where what you're going to do. What kind of self-care would you like to take up? Which is very subjective, again, because some people would have different ways of coping with the issues.
Yeah.
So what would you share it to your close ones, right?
Yeah.
Or would it be, I would take this as an encouragement out of this issue, this problem that I'm having. What can I do to prove myself wrong? That I am not this kind of person. I'm not that. I can do much more better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understanding
It's very
yourself
subjective.
also.
Yes.
Understanding. So also, right, like how we perceive stress. Like, for example, 4 of us here, and
Yeah.
how you see the similar situation, I would see differently.
Yeah.
I would cope it differently. Like Sir mentioned, like it's subjective. And how we deal with it, it's very subjective. So definitely how we define stress individually, it differs and
Okay.
varies.
So it's like different people, different types of
Yes.
stress, let's say, and different ways to cope up.
Strategies.
Yes,
Different strategies using. Okay. That's so nice. Also, like you said about self-care. Self-care, like taking care of yourself, obviously. Like how can that help us, Like for me, I tell my friends also, I'm not a person who does a lot of self-care, honestly. But then I also think that I have a lot of issues, like depression, anxiety and things. So how can self-care help me with that?
Okay, let's say use just an anxiety.
Yeah.
Right. It's very simple, right? Get good rest,
Yeah.
right? One thing, and then have a journal writing, and then try if you have coffee or tea at night.
Yeah.
Try to avoid that,
Okay.
and then go for walks, go for evening walks, exercises.
Mm.
That's one. These are very simple
Simple
tips, very
ways to-
simple techniques.
Okay, so simple ways.
Anyone can do that.
So it's like simple, just take care of yourself simply and then
Yes.
have a good life.
And try to have a positive mindset.
Yeah.
It's when we say positive mindset, it's not to ignore the problems that we're having,
Yeah.
right? But to look at those issues from a positive point of view. What are the good things that can come out of my situation that I am in right now?
Like we can take
Instead
it as
of
a
focusing
learning.
on the negative things. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like we can take it as a learning process
Yes.
also. Okay.
Also, like self-care. The word, it sounds so simple, like self-care. You mentioned I don't really do that, all
Yeah.
this stuff, self-care, but then if we just pick on it, good sleep. Now, how can I have a good sleep? That is it. It's almost like checking in yourself. Self-care is not selfish. So when you
Okay.
are able to take care of yourself, you're more capable, right, of helping other people
Others,
as
yes.
well. So practicing having a good appetite, checking on yourself every now and then. And I think that could be one thing that we need to really realize, that self-care isn't just normal it's normal activities, definitely.
Yeah.
But how to make it happen, that is
Yeah.
the thing.
It's not normal activities that we don't tend to do because of stress. But then, like, there is a way that you can go and do it
Mm.
and help yourself. That's so nice. That made me learn a lot today. And we are still not even halfway there. So yeah, also like self-care, which means taking care of ourselves, right? Which also leads to us physically taking care of ourselves, like having good food, sleeping well. It's also it also helps us physically. So is there a connection with both mind and physical being like taken care of because of taking self-care?
For me personally, I feel like we are just more than physical bodies.
Yeah.
So mind has connection with our physical aspect, of course, emotional aspect, and even the behavioral aspect.
Okay.
So I know we are trying to talk a lot about the negative anxieties, just all that, right?
Yeah.
When we are in a happy state, our behavior even shows that. It shows that in our looks that we are happy, right? And then we also feel happy. But when we are stressed, when we have anxiety, you will see that in people there are subtle differences, right? One thing can be behavior, right? Have you seen a person going through stress, through anxiety?
Yes.
How do they look like?
To be honest.
Honestly speaking, they are always trying to make others
Sorry.
happy.
Trying to make others happy.
Yeah.
Because they try
So there's
to
a
hide.
mask.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
mask.
That's
let's
a
say.
mask, right? But again, behind that mask, there's a different person, right?
Mhm.
But do you also notice there are people who suddenly avoid others?
Yes. Like
Right.
me, I do that.
Yes.
I do that.
When they face
I
with
will lock
anxiety, they
myself
have
in.
issues,
Yeah.
they avoid other people.
Yes.
And then they close themselves
Yes.
instead of sharing it.
Yeah.
And then I'll come
Uh,
out like, all happy
Yeah.
and fine again.
When you start to feel better, then
Yeah.
you went out from your
Yes.
circle, from your comfort zone.
It's almost
That
like
is one sign of anxiety and stress.
yes. And you were talking about mind, body, right?
Yeah.
So definitely they are not separate. Just as how much we really love and care about our own body or about our own health, running towards the doctor to seek immediate help, right? Because they give us medication, and definitely I'm not implying that it's negative, like okay you need to take medication, but the part where we need to focus that both works together. Your
Yeah.
mind works together with your body, and they are not separate. So in a way, if you are mentally stable in itself, you're more mentally able to look after yourself, right? To recognize that okay, I'm not feeling this way, and because I'm not feeling this way, that's why I'm getting this stress, and this stress causing a lot of negative thinking patterns, and that's why it might lead me to overthink causes me headache causes me unable to sleep.
Yeah.
So the cycle, you're able to realize the connection.
So it's
between
like there
both.
is a path.
Yeah, a path
Mm.
connecting.
Okay, that's super interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't notice it until now. Now when I think of it, it's coming in my mind. Yeah, that's so interesting, man.
Yes. And I also feel like I do have anxiety.
Mhm.
Even sitting here, I'm like trying
Nervous.
to keep my composure. But then, like you said, like these anxiety, we can like cope with it by doing some other things, like not taking in too much caffeine or
Mm.
Yeah,
something.
simple
Yes.
tips.
But me, I don't actually take caffeine, but I still have anxiety. Yeah, but like, then how can I cope with it? Like,
Yes.
I tried to, but I just like locked myself in my room. That's the only solution that
you
I
do it so far.
got. Yeah.
So far locking
Yeah.
up yourself.
Yeah.
So you said you're not a person who take caffeine, but then yet
Having
that is
fun.
not the only one thing that we need to avoid, right? Anxiety displays its symptoms like heavy breathing, heart rate, sweating. I'm not talking about normal sweating, but
Yeah, like heavy,
excessive
yeah,
sweating.
excessive, yeah.
Just let's say she's having anxiety about something, and suddenly, she feels very nervous, and it's very uncontrolled, nervous, worry. And then, in order to cope with it, one thing she can do is deep breathing. So many researchers have, pointed out that deep breathing is one thing that can really help, and I think you can practice it. We can do it after this, and then I feel like deep breathing is one thing that you focus on your breath. So it's like it helps your body to calm down. That time you felt right, like
Yes.
very nervous,
Yeah.
and then you feel all the like, how should I say, heartbeat,
Yes.
palpitations and all. So it's like deep breathing can be one. There are different relaxation techniques. Meditation could also be one. I
Yeah.
think you've heard about meditation,
Yeah.
right? How it helps you to focus, and that could be.
Yes.
But what about some people? I've seen them. What they do is like mostly rich people, of course. What they do is even if they don't have any physical problems, even if it's just mental problems, they still go for massages. So
What is that?
I don't know.
Therapy?
I think so. It's kind of like a
Is this
therapy.
therapeutic?
Yeah, therapeutic.
You meant
Yeah.
like spa?
Yeah, spa kind of
therapy.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, those they have. Actually, there's one aspect called aromatic therapeutic, like that they use different essential oils, and those also helps. Okay, there are a range of ways where you approach healing technique, right?
Okay.
So maybe those just are a sense of relief from their body tension, muscle tension, because one aspect of mindfulness, it's also like there's one relaxation technique called progressive relaxation technique. So what we do is like, you sit here, let's say you sit here and then you close your eyes, and then you can feel just paying attention to the body tension of your hands, like clenching your hands, and then trying to focus where are you feeling stress. Sometimes, right, we have body ache at the back of our head, neck. So just trying to relieve those. So I think that could be one that they went to spa.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, it's like another thing that I want to talk about was like emotions, no? Like what we do is sometimes lately, like I have been feeling like I feel like I'm angry, but then I don't know if I am, I feel like I'm sad, but I don't know if I really am sad. Something like hard to know what am I feeling.
To
Yeah.
exactly know
Yeah.
what you are
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah. So
Mixed emotions.
Yeah,
Let's say, like,
almost
mixed
like that, right?
emotions.
mixed emotions, yeah.
Yes.
No, there are
Like-
some days too when we're really happy and having a conversation, for example, but then one way or another, something hits you and you're just like sad.
Yeah,
just
all of a
sad.
sudden,
All
all of a sudden.
I think, like you said, right, we cannot pinpoint our emotions,
Yeah.
and then we just let it stay there. Let's say you're angry mixed with sad, mix of emotions, like you said.
Yeah.
Oh, suddenly you were so happy, and then you become sad.
Yeah.
But then when someone asks you what happened to you, suddenly you're happy. But then what happened to you? What wrong? Did something? No, nothing happened. Right?
Yeah.
We used to
Yeah.
say that, and it's because we don't know what is it that stresses us out, that lead to us feeling this emotion. So reflection is one thing. Self-reflection, right?
Yes.
We always fail to do this. We think that if we analyze ourselves too much, we will come to no conclusion. But actually, self-reflection can bring that kind of clarity of mind, that
Okay.
what are you feeling, what is the reason that I'm feeling this way, which aspect or factor that contributed to me feeling sad, right?
Yeah.
So self-reflection is one way that can help us identify emotions and labeling them.
Labeling them.
Yes. So that is one thing.
Yeah.
So
Like-
yes.
Like emotions, like for me, are there types like for me there are basically just few emotions, no, like say anger, sad. But then I also heard that there are many much more emotions,
Yes.
like which I think so we haven't explored yet. Let's say some people may have explored it, so they know about it, and we haven't seen them yet. So like, suppose we feel it for the first time and we don't know what to do. Like, how can we seek help? Seeking help from people. Like, are there any somebody who can help us understand this better?
Definitely talking to someone else. I mean, to your close ones whom you can trust. And you said, like, if we don't understand ourselves, who?
Yeah.
So there comes the play of a mental health professional, right?
Okay.
They will play that role, guiding you, facilitating you, and really one thing, seeking help is one of the misconception when we talk about mental well-being. Seeing it as a sign of weakness, as a sign of incapable of handling their
Yeah.
own. Like I face the same thing, but yet this person is unable to do that, right?
Yeah.
So even your own emotions not enabling to handle it, right? So there you go. You just need to approach a mental health professional, a counselor, a clinical psychologist. So depending. So that could be one way you will seek help.
Okay.
But we also have to keep in mind before, of course, of us being in MLCU, it's a very mental well-being driven university, right? We promote a lot about mental health.
Yes.
But what about other people from outside of
Yes.
our university, right?
Yes.
We can't just tell them to, okay, having this issue, you need to speak to a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
There's this notion that, okay, maybe I have a big problem, a very big issue. Maybe I'm not mentally oriented. I'm not
Yeah.
mentally well, all of that, right? So it's very important that when we go out of the university, we educate other people.
Yes.
That is to
Yeah.
break
Yeah.
the stigma, right?
Yeah, breaking stigma.
Firstly, you try to help them, right?
Mm.
So whenever you see it, you don't just tell, okay, you go see a counselor now.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's better you speak to a counselor, right?
Mm.
But we try to understand first. So we become the counselor. We become the first counselor.
Mm.
Maybe not professional counselors, but at least we're there to listen. We're there for that particular person to brainstorm with them what they can do, what are the good things they can do. Always highlight the positivity, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then only can you say, okay, I think a professional counselor would be able to help you even more.
Mm.
Now that I want you to get better. We should not stay in this state of negativity.
Yeah.
It's almost
Kind words,
like
being empathetic.
yes,
Yeah.
is it.
exploring.
Yeah.
Like maybe like what he said is that directly you cannot say to someone, right? Oh, go to a counselor.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Yeah.
definitely you have a big problem.
Yeah, that sounds.
Then maybe
Hmm.
what you can help them at that point is asking them, how have you been lately? Just these few questions, how have you been feeling this week? Were you able to have a good sleep? Were you able to eat? Those are the questions that we don't ask,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And then just asking those few questions help us to know maybe a person who's not very known about mental health disorders, mental health issues. These few questions can help them know that, okay, this person is having some stress that is beyond their control.
Yeah.
So then maybe you can say that, okay, I think it's not under my, capability of handling it. So you can seek a professional help.
Mm.
But then before that, prior that, just don't jump to that
Yeah.
part. Maybe we
Yeah.
can ask those few simple questions.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we learned a lot today. Yeah? That
A
really
lot.
that will help me, not might. That will help me a lot.
Yeah.
I guess it'll help others also. I guess it'll help you guys who are watching this video right now. And I think that is pretty much it. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
So this is it from our side, and we'll see you in the next episode of the next chapter.